I think it's cool too. Just like I'm excited to see the reach of the U.S. Adaptive Open when it does happen this year. Because obviously, like we're fully invested into it now, but just with like you said, what Chaz has done in the social media scene the past year, and same thing with Max. Like those guys are in these YouTube videos with good, with hole-in-one trick shots, with Bust Jack. Like that exposure for the whole adaptive scene has grown so much in just the past 6 months or so that it's like, I mean, like think about it, like Busta Jack's probably going to be at the Adaptive Open. Josh Kelly, like hole-in-one trick shots, he's going to be there with Chaz. You know what I mean? Like it's going to have that whole other reach and just keep growing, which is so cool.
No, absolutely. It's actually incredible to see my boys doing so well, and you know, they're just amazing people, right? Chaz has always been the guy who's the center of attention, right? And that's just who he is. Like he's just naturally, people gravitate towards him. And Max, you know, what a horrible accident he went through and had to deal with, and instantly found something that he could do and make a life out of. And man, is he good. Are they both good? Oh my God. You know, like they both, you know, can play, man. And the more I learn about them and the more I watch them grow, and it's just so cool. And, you know, as much as YouTube golf and stuff is great, personally for me, that's not something that I'm looking to do. You know, I don't really want to be out there as a social media creator. I want to win, right? Like, and I'm not at that point yet. I know, I understand that, but that's why I go to the range every day. I go to the range because I want to get better and I want to win. And, you know, I want to, you know, I go to work every day, right? I'm not trying to make a living off this, but I'm a competitive motherfucker who, when he plays and stuff, I want to do well, right? And it's been a tough winter because, you know, it's tough when you're watching these guys on social media playing on grass all day. And you're in your office job, you know, surviving and doing what you have to do. And then I come and, you know, I have a month until a tournament. Okay, well, I hit off grass once. Now you have 2 weeks. Well, I've hit off grass for a week or two. And now I have 5 days until I fly out, and I'm starting to feel better about my game. But it's just tough, man. Like it's, you know, it's something that you got to live in the right area to really have the opportunity to make that happen. While also, you know, I think that's awesome for my guys. And I really hope they just keep growing because they deserve nothing less. But me personally, I just want to lay low and grind and win. So,
yeah, I mean, we kind of just got a slow start to the season up here this year. Like normally I would be out playing in March, and I didn't really play till, you know, early April. It just wasn't dry enough. Yeah.
It was tough.
Although I don't know if you've seen, we've gotten pretty connected with Scramble House of Golf. So our guy, Justin Ryan, a shout out to Justin. He's opening a spot in Rochester, right in Fairport. So it's this side of Rochester. It's like just over an hour. I was just out there this past weekend. It's under construction currently, but his whole thing is, we've heard about it a bunch from our friends of the pod, but it's 24/7. Like the members are like owners basically in it, and it's simulators, chipping, putting, and it's just you come and go as you please type of thing.
Yeah, it's an equity country club membership, but indoors.
Yeah, but all, you know, year round. He's got 2 in Philly, and he's opening 1 in Rochester. It's going to be open in September. So then, you know, going to turning some and stuff's cool, you know, with the dome, but to have that whole facility and like seeing these guys that we connected with in Philly that are just motivating each other, you know, getting feedback from each other and stuff like that, it's going to be really cool up here.
That's super cool. Congrats to him, man, because that is so needed. So needed up here.
And he's originally from Rochester, and then he was like a club pro at a few different courses around the country. Ended up in Philly, but now he's like ready to come back home and build something here, which is, it's going to be pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Creds to him.
Yeah. So what else do you kind of have on your schedule for 2025? Are you going to the Gap Philly tournament again? Are you going to Ohio and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'll be going to Philly in October. I'm debating Ohio or not. I got to kind of see where I'm at.
Mhm.
But it was all tournaments I went to last year were great, and I hope to return to them all. So here and there we'll have some events, and then the one of the biggest events of the year was or is going to be the Phoenix Cup, which is the adaptive style Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I was asked to play on Team USA this year.
Let's go.
I'm very excited, very, very
That's awesome,
honored
man.
to be asked. And Max will be on the team. A bunch of other great guys, Brandon Canisi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When and where are you allowed to share that information?
Absolutely. It'll be in September. It's a 3-day, I believe, either 3-day, all different style events. And Team Europe will be coming overseas and into Phoenix. Guess where this event was played last year?
Phoenix? Okay.
St. Andrews.
Shut the front door.
Wow.
So
Front
where are we
door is
hosting it?
closed. Where are we? Raven Golf Club
Where is that?
in Phoenix.
Phoenix. We already went over that part. I'm just still blown away.
Here's the thing. For some reason, it was called the Phoenix Cup. Still, I got to do my research. I'm a bad teammate, but it was called the Phoenix Cup for years now. But they call it the Phoenix Cup even when it's over there. So I think it was originally.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with the city. I think it's much more of a symbolic gesture, given
Agreed.
the nature of the tournament. I love that. I was just fucking Phoenix, Scottsdale. Those are two of those places you were talking about. If you don't live Phoenix, Scottsdale, or somewhere in Florida, then it's hard. It's been a slow start to the season. I got out once, end of March. Bummed around, knocked the rust off. Things felt great. The greens are so shitty, you couldn't really determine whether or not you were putting well. If you can pick a line and just whack it, they were going in. So it was a nice day. But, Monday, I've got my first qualifier of the season too. And so that's why when you were talking about, when I was asking about how do you prepare, I've been to this course, half a dozen times. So for me, it's much more about I plan each tee shot. What's the tee shot we're trying to hit? Okay, assume you hit it. All right, then what's the approach you're trying to hit? Assume, and then from there you can't assume much because you don't know where the pin's going to be, blah, 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 but assume the best. You're below the hole and then go from there. But really what happens is, okay, I want to hit it up the right side and little pull hook, I'm in the left rough. All right, got to adjust. And so it's just about Brooks Koepka, I think. The Hogan quote is classic, right? The next shot. And I think that's a Brooks Koepka mentality where he talks about being a failure. He's like, I'm a failure the whole time. He's like, only 18 times am I a success on the golf course. The rest I'm failing. I'm trying to hit it in the hole every time. It just doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. So there's that. And then here's another one, take with you, put it in your bag. Walter Hagen, master of the PGA Championship back in the match play era, and his performance, kind of like Rudy was a documentary in The Legend of Bagger Vance is great. But he had a saying, 7. He always budgeted 7 poor shots around. That way, when he would hit a bad shot, he would just brush it off. That's one of the 7. And what he found was that would calm him down and give him enough grace and space. He never ran out of more than 4 or 5. Now, I'm sure he had more than that, but the mentality's there. It's all a bunch of mind games. Any ape with enough practice can go hit a ball. From there, that's what separates ape from man.
Yeah.
Love it.
Sorry, there's a lot of wildlife in my backyard right now.
No worries. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a good thing. But no, I love that mentality. And I think it's fantastic to be on top of your mental game because, you can try and shrug it off for so long. But once things start going downhill, you gotta be able to recover up there because you're not going to be able to just fix it in one swing. So, I love that.
Thanks for watching today's episode.
To see more of our content, be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe on YouTube. We can be found at Basic Bogeys on all platforms.
Thanks. We hope to see you on the next one.